Hey Timothy, how you doing? Okay, so really super wordy. This is a cover letter. All this is doing is going to get the attention of the person reading it, just so they turn the page to look at your resume. Okay, so the kind of the progression goes like this. A good cover letter is going to get your resume looked at. A good resume will get your portfolio looked at, and a good portfolio will get you the job. So I think the cover letter here is too wordy. I would get rid of this whole sidebar here. And then I would just concentrate on formatting this as a business letter, complete with, the date and contact information, address, etc. Not only yours, but, format it like a business letter. Don't forget that date. Salutations. This name here is different than this name here. So that's going to be a pretty severe blow to your chances of getting a job that you didn't get the name right from the ad to the cover letter. I would stick with this format right here for the cover letter right here. Building the cover letter. This is it. And then this, how to sound smart in a cover letter. This is really important, building the cover letter. And just stick with these 3 prescribed paragraphs. Try to be as brief as possible. All you're doing is introducing yourself, telling, what it is that you're interested in, where did you find the information, what makes you a good fit, and then your contact information and a positive phrase to set up an interview. Okay, so we don't really have any of that here. We just have this you're just talking about yourself. No offense, I don't mean to sound like that, but you're talking about yourself. You're not putting the needs of the company in front of the needs of you. Okay, so, and it's really super apparent here. The other thing is this will, again, you won't get your resume looked at here, because please feel free to contact me. Don't give the person on the other end any chores to do. They're busy enough. It's your job to contact. If you're applying for a job, it's your job to contact them. Don't ask them to contact you. Okay, that's a severe, critical mistake right there. So just want to point that out to you. Okay, I definitely format this as a business letter, and I would take this right here, use that area right there for your letter instead of pulling this all the way up so it's in competition with your name. Your name should be sitting up alone by itself. Okay, resume. Again, I think there's too much here. Soft skills. You don't need to put soft skills on a resume. This is just giving somebody an idea of your qualifications. I suggest and I recommend to a lot of students that you look at the resume and give, you could even consider crafting the resume toward the specific job. Okay, so in other words, it's not like the old days where you get, 500 resumes printed and you use the same one. No, in this digital age, you can change this on the fly and you can customize it toward the job you're looking at. And I highly recommend that you stick with this prescribed format. Contact information, career statement. It even tells you, each one of these gives you a little idea. Professional experience, computer and software skills, education, awards, accomplishments. And if, when you have your resume, you want to keep this in mind. You want it to be as simple to follow as possible for the person reading it. And I don't think this is, because you go, the viewer doesn't know where to start because this is in competition with this. That's why I was saying pull it down here. At least we'll know where to start. We typically will start on the right and move across. So that being said, this is kind of a weird relationship. I would recommend, if you want to keep the sidebar, that's fine. But I would differentiate the type and the presentation enough so that the viewer realizes that's indeed a sidebar and this isn't a 2-column resume. I hope that makes sense. And then, education. Now your experience, try to keep this as relevant to design as you can. In other words, retail, shipping 5 years. Is this the same job? Shipping and retail? No, 88. You don't have to go that far back. Definitely not. And, you don't really have to tell your story in a resume. I would definitely say in a resume, things like this are great. Profits went 750,000 a year to 1.3 million. Figure out that percentage and say, increase in profit for X amount, X percent, during the time I was working there. That's just a different way of the verbiage. Okay. And I think the best way to go is, instead of using design and support and then using this active verbiage, I have this and I do this and I've done this and I will do this, use bullets. They're so much easier to follow in a resume. I think they're really super easy to follow in a resume. All right. So that's what I have for you. If you have any questions or comments or other, please feel free to give me a holler. Well, I just want to say one final thing. Okay. I recommend using, just use black ink on this. I wouldn't recommend this because there's too many things to look at on your resume. There's too many visual stops. So we're going here, 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 then here, 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 then over here, then back over here, then down here, then over here. It should be such that the resume should really have a nice flow, so that the viewer can start at one point, read through it, and then if there is a sidebar, go through that, and then understand that they're two separate things. Okay? So, all right, cool. Any questions, please let me know. Thanks, man.